this video, I'm going to teach you the step-by-step strategy that you can use to maximize revenue for your brand this Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Q4. First, let's understand why this Q4 is substantially different. One, the election is going to drive up advertising costs and make CPMs rise significantly. Two, the leap year gives us one less week to advertise before Christmas, meaning this year we lose an entire week in the holiday sales window. This is especially important to consider in your forecast because a significant amount of revenue that last year was realized in November is actually going to fall into December. This is the first time actually in 4 years that Cyber Monday is falling in December. The overall monthly total is going to look pretty different because of that year-over-year comparison, not accounting for the revenue loss in November that's now shifting over into December. Next, let's talk about the election. Looking at some data from Common Thread Collective, during the 2020 election season, we saw a 30% increase in Meta CPMs from October 1st to October 22nd versus an average 11% increase in other years. And in cases like this is exactly why we want to have a cost-controlled ad account structure, so you have the manual control over your CPA, and as soon as your conversion rate starts to tank during the election period, we'll be able to tighten up our cost controls and lower spend automatically and maintain profitability during this period that is going to be difficult. In order to combat these rising advertising costs from the election, we want to actually do an organic social play. Consider lead generation tactics, influencer partnerships, giveaways, and collaborations with other brands. Something that is going to create organic awareness for the business, not going to be directly impacted from a paid media channel, for example, like Facebook ads. And if you're watching this in early October, this is actually the time right now to acquire as many new customers as possible before CPM start to spike. Remember, the more that you're able to acquire customers and fill the sponge of non-purchasers into your email list right now, the more that you'll be able to realize revenue from those users when it comes to Black Friday. Also, as a pro tip for your forecast, if you're wondering what other times during November and the holiday season that brands may be using to realize additional revenue, you can do an early bird sale around November 8th. And what this is going to do is actually pull some revenue forward in the month to avoid the extremely high competition during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And what we see, and I'm sure you're asking yourself, won't that like make my Black Friday less impactful? And we actually see the opposite. We see it as an additional moment to realize revenue that is completely detached from Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So it's simply additional revenue that will go straight to your bottom line. Next, let's talk about my recommended Facebook ad account structure. I highly recommend having the most robust ad account structure that you can possibly have, leaving nothing up to chance. I would have every campaign type ready to go at your disposal, meaning having a mixture of business as usual campaigns and Advantage Plus shopping campaigns, all using manual bids, either ROAS goal bidding or cost capped bidding. The reason why you should have both is because you can get more bang for your buck out of existing creative assets, optimizing for two different types of customers. One that's a more high value cohort with ROAS goal bidding, more likely to have a higher average order value, and one that is a cost capped bid, which is going after the cheapest or lowest cost type of conversion. By having all of these different campaign types and tactics in your account at the same time, upon initial launch, you can see what's getting you the most success and then push and pull accordingly between those different campaigns. This may help you find even better ad account efficiency than you initially would have with a more consolidated structure. And to review the basics, I highly recommend that you're using broad targeting only. There's no reason for lookalikes or interest audiences, to be honest. The only type of audience testing that I would do is different bid strategies or switching attribution settings. Also, to quickly review the basics, every campaign should be broad targeting, click only attribution, excluding past purchasers, and that's it. Also, make sure that you're inflating your daily budgets as high as you're willing to spend and setting your cost control at the correct efficiency target. That way, when Black Friday rolls around and the expected conversion rate of the platform increases, you're able to automatically capture as much auction demand within that campaign as possible, surrounding your efficiency expectation. For the attribution window, I recommend testing out 1-day click attribution alongside 7-day click. For sale campaigns during BFCM, it's actually going to line up nicely with the actual consideration behavior of the purchaser because you're actually optimizing for that behavior. I want the customer to click that day and purchase. Also, make sure that you check the time zone of your ad account to make sure you're going live at the correct time for your sale. You could be leaving money on the table just by missing by an hour. You want to make sure that you have automated rules set up to set your campaigns live when you need them to, and also be careful to tighten up your ad account after the sale is over, especially if you have inflated campaign budgets. I would definitely use some sort of automated rule or just at the ad set level, setting the date and time exactly when it should turn on and off, and have that all down to a T so that you don't have any issues with either overspend or underspending. There are two major topics that I want to discuss with you. One being creative diversification, and two, creative volume. Creative diversification means to diversify the visuals of your ads, the messaging of your ads, and mix up the formats, showcasing a variety of different key visuals across your campaigns and increasing the visual differentiation of these ads can improve overall performance of your campaigns. This is something that Meta has focused on a lot over the past few years, and it's clear that this is due to algorithmic updates where we know that we're using broad targeting more than ever, and broad targeting means that creative does the targeting. Therefore, in order to reduce ad creative fatigue and find new audiences, you need to make sure that you have a diverse set of visuals and formats and messaging that are going to speak to different types of customers. And Meta specifically says when creative is too similar, that the algorithm is going to identify it as the same ad creative as another, and then reach the same audiences repeatedly and cause ad fatigue and low performance and higher CPAs. On the topic of creative diversification, from Meta documentation, they say, and I quote, "When creatives are similar, our system may not recognize it as different creatives and therefore deliver to the same sets of audiences. Creative diversification is having both a variety of ad formats and concepts speaking in your campaigns." What I find from my experience explaining this topic to people is it's kind of hard to grasp fully. So what I recommend you do for your Black Friday, Cyber Monday ads is just try to have ads that feel and look different. If they look all very similar and are mundane, they're not going to reach new audiences and you're not going to have strong performance. My biggest learning from last year in 2023 during Black Friday for a brand that I work with called Travis Matthew was that we had significantly more creatives year over year. And it wasn't just double the amount of creatives, it was around triple the amount of creatives. And so, for example, if you have very ambitious sales targets, you cannot just show up with 2 ads and expect to have success on Black Friday. I highly recommend, if you want to get the best ad efficiency that you've ever seen in your account this year, make sure that you triple your creative production if you're trying to grow. If you're trying to stay flat year over year, then maybe you can do the same as last year, but honestly, competition is only getting more intense. Main ways that you can get more out of your existing assets is to take still images and videos and put them on the front of DABA carousels, for example, so you have the catalog generating after them, or also turning those still images and videos into instant experiences or collection ads where you have the image at the top and then you have a dynamic carousel of products that are pulling and showing to the user based off what they're most likely to respond to. You can also use DABA frames. That is an overlay that goes on top of your catalog, pulling from Commerce Manager in order to get more out of those assets too. For a few additional creative tips, something I saw last year that was interesting is that dollar off strike-through pricing actually outperformed percent off creatives. So I would definitely test both and have a mixture of those different types of messaging in your account. I also find that still images consistently outperform videos during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which is really interesting because it's actually easier to produce more still images. So you should definitely invest heavier into images, in my opinion, since they're easier to produce and you can create a higher quantity of them. You can also use very simple messaging, meaning a still image with a black background that has the sale offer in giant bold letters. That often will outperform something that even shows a product in it. Like, you don't even need to show the product, just have the offer front and center, making it crystal clear what the offer is. For your offer strategy, the simpler the better. Typically, I see site-wide offers without a coupon code converting the best. Anything less than 20% is not even worth showing up with for Black Friday, to be honest. Also, make sure you're staying profitable throughout Black Friday. There's no reason that you should be going into the red, putting discounts up that you can't afford profitably. You should be keeping your ad spend as profitable as possible. This is a time to both make a ton of new customer revenue and also make a ton of margin. It sometimes for businesses is one of the largest margin realizing moments of the entire year. Another tip is to boost your average order value through bundling and tiered pricing. And my last tip is to keep your best offers exclusive to your email and SMS channels. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you stayed till the end, please hit that subscribe button so that I can continue to provide as much value for you in these videos as possible. That's it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.